What's up guys, Philip here, and I am back in the garage to talk to y'all for a few minutes about kind of my powerlifting competition and what I learned on the day that maybe would have helped me if I knew beforehand, or things that I at least thought about before I got there. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background, I just recently competed at the USPA drug tested Premier Fitness Open. Pro, whatever it was in the, pro or open, don't really remember. But I ended up totaling first powerlifting meet 1410.96 pounds. So I hit my goal that I originally had set out for 1,400 pounds. I also hit my deadlift goal. I wanted to pull 600 in competition at my first meet. And very, very happy with that performance, but there were a few things that I kind of learned the hard way that luckily did not affect my performance too much at the end of the day, but things that just happened that I was not expecting. So just wanted to talk to y'all for a little bit about a few of those aspects, starting with the first one, which is, guys, be prepared for your first meet. And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, oh, I've been training for years. Like, I know how to do this. I know my commands. Like, if you know your commands, congratulations. That is great, because there were plenty of people that didn't at this meet. But that's not all that I mean. Just, you have to know everything that goes into this kind of meet, into this event, not just the lifting, guys. There's so many things that I did not think about that I had to kind of learn and study up on before doing this meet. Things like the day before, and this will vary, of course, based on what federation you compete in and what meet you do. But things like, when do you check in, getting your rack heights, getting your gear checked. There's a whole list of approved gear for certain articles that you would use. And then there is a list where you only need to meet the specifications for that gear. There are 24-hour weigh-ins like I had in the USPA. There are also same day as the competition weigh-ins in other federations. You have to know what kind of bars you're going to use in the competition. Are you going to use a deadlift bar for the deadlift? Are you going to use a squat bar for the squat? Or are you just going to use a power bar for all three? Little details like that, if you get those sorted out beforehand, then that will really help you feel more prepared on the day of the meet. And so I had plenty of resources. I had quite a few amazing guys who really helped me and gave me solid advice leading up to mine. But I also found some very good resources online. One of my favorites was a meat checklist from Juggernaut Training Systems, where they cover, the whole weigh-in situation. They cover the diet for, the day of the competition and kind of what they typically like to eat. And you need to sort that kind of stuff out ahead of time, because there will be plenty of stuff that happens during the meet that will leave you not really emotionally available to deal with things like that. And those things can really throw you off and stress you out. You do not want to be stressed out the day of that meet, because it is a long day however you slice it. My meet was 9 hours long. So I had to be very careful about stressing out too much, about walking around too much. I brought myself a little stool to sit on when I was not, competing, and just things like that, guys. You need to prepare not just for the lifting and the commands for the lifting. Of course, the lifting part is very important, but you need to know all of the specifics about how the event's going to run, just period. Read the rule books. There are so many things in the rule book that I wouldn't have even thought about that were outlined in the rule books, as far as your gear. Things like your knee sleeves cannot be touching your singlet. Your knee sleeves cannot be touching your socks. During competition, there has to be a space in between each one. Those are not things you think about before you compete if you don't read them. So read your rule books and familiarize yourself with how the event is going to go, period, and that will pay dividends come meet day. Okay, that is the first one. Obviously prepare, but the second one is you have to play your game. Okay, you're gonna be nervous the day, especially if it's your first meet that you are competing in. And I've lifted for a very long time on my own. I'm very confident in my lifting, but I was even freaking out and getting nervous when the meet started, and I was getting, closer and closer to going up for that first squat attempt. And I got so nervous on that first squat attempt, I tried to rush it, not play my game, and I ended up just bombing the first one. I almost fell with 425 pounds on my back. It was very embarrassing because I've done that many times with no problem. Now, I was able to regroup. That second squat attempt, I was able to unrack it, get set, and take some breaths, realize what I was doing, live in the moment, go through my cues, and I smoked it the second time. But that first one, I was so nervous and jittery that I just completely forgot my cues and screwed it completely up. Went 8 for 9 after that missed attempt, so we fixed it. But even for somebody who's a seasoned lifter, it got to me at the very beginning. So do keep in mind, you're going to be incredibly nervous no matter how prepared you are. I was prepared for my meet, and I still was so nervous at the time. You just have to remember to calm down, slow down more than you think you should. Be methodical and play your game. Play your game and do it the way you do it, the way you've practiced, and you will be okay. So that's the second one. The third thing is either try to find somebody that knows what they're doing in the powerlifting meet to come and handle you or coach you, if you will. If you do not have the luxury to do that, then when you get there, make friends with people who have done it before, and just kind of pick their brain while the meet is going. Because I met many people that had done it previously, had done powerlifting meets while I was there, and they were more than happy to help. The environment at the meet that I did was A1. Everybody was incredibly friendly. There were a few people that were kind of off into the corner, so powerlifter to death with their headphones on, fighting their demons, just ready to, smoke their attempts. Obviously, don't go ask them for advice, but if they're just warming up, like in a squat rack, they seem approachable, then, go up, work in with them, warm up, and pick their brains. The guy who helped me, I walked up to him, just kind of struck a conversation with him. He was there to handle his girlfriend for the meet, and he was super knowledgeable. He was super nice. He stayed kind of checking in with me throughout the entire meet to, make sure that an attempt felt good, kind of pick my brain on what I was going to go for next. He also helped me space out my warming up and kind of my timing for the meet. And he even helped me with things like what to eat and when, like after I got done with my squats, he was like, don't keep pounding Gatorade because you're going to be sick by the time you get to the bench press. Eat some carbs, but get some real food in you now, and then hit some Gatorade and get some more carbs after bench press. Having somebody that has been through it before and knows little things like that is invaluable. It's also invaluable to have somebody there who is encouraging, who's been there, done that, and can kind of slow you down in the moment. So that, and again, in my case, I had somebody that was able to say, calm down. You went way too fast. You need to be more methodical, play your game. And it really helped me. So make friends quickly and find somebody, preferably, who is friendly and knows what they're doing. So the last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, again, and I kind of mentioned it earlier or hinted at it, is powerlifting meet is a long day. come prepared with your food, with your hydration, snacks, plenty of carbs, plenty of water. I had 2 gallons of water on the day of the meet with a whole thing of Gatorade powder. I had a whole little container of Gatorade powder to mix my own Gatorade up in my gallons. I had a whole thing of bananas, like a bushel of bananas. I had a whole pack of Pop-Tarts. Like I was packing for this meet. And so it's very important to have everything you need and maybe more than you think you need, because on those long days, this powerlifting meet, I did my squats and then it was 3 hours until I did my bench. After I got on with my bench, it was 3 hours until I got, to deadlift. So it was very important that I had a constant supply of food and calories coming in to keep my energy up, because by the time I was doing deadlifts, I was tired. I mean, I was pretty tired, but I was eating all throughout the day, so I still felt like I could go out there and do what I needed to do, even though I was feeling that fatigue at the time. And just a little bonus tip, this won't help you to do better in your competitions, but this experience, this powerlifting meet, definitely made me want to do another one and more in the future. It definitely was an awesome experience, and it was almost just it was a gathering of like-minded people who enjoy the sport of lifting weights. It was so fun to spend, a whole day with just a group of people that were all focused on the same things you were, hitting the best lifts that they can or could, and they were all cheering each other on. So very, very cool environment. Awesome to be in the midst of so many people that are sharing in your goals and encouraging each other so that everybody does their best with the support and encouragement of everybody else. So awesome experience. If you're worried about, not lifting what you want to start, don't be, man. Just jump into it, get some numbers on the board, and that'll give you something to work towards. So I hit 1,400 pounds. The goal now is 1,500. I don't have a timeline for my next meet, but that is the goal for when I do compete, because I will be competing again based off of this experience. So if these tips helped you, please do drop a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know. Also, let me know if you have any other questions, because this was kind of a general sweep over things that I learned. So if you are wondering more about specifics of this meet and what it entailed, then I would be more than happy to answer those questions if you drop them down in the comment section below. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope y'all appreciated this video, enjoyed this video, and that it was informative and entertaining. But until next time, I'll catch y'all later.